Coming up.
Energy is life and sun is energy. So if you start with that, it's pretty basic. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to have more life. And then the blood flows to your brain, you feel better, and then you've got more energy to enjoy life. And that's what we all want to do.
Going deeper. Discovering more. Nature, science, consciousness. Beyond the rabbit hole. In today's podcast, I'm speaking to Chad Davis, author of the book The Primed Life. Chad's helped people all over the world reverse serious health conditions using what nature provides us. So I'm really excited to speak to him today to find out his secrets. Join us down this rabbit hole. Okay, thank you so much. I've been following your stuff on Facebook. I read your book, Primed for Your Life. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah. Primed for Your Life, a fantastic book, really kind of practical, and there it is, The Primed Life.
Thank you.
So I couldn't wait to just chat to you and kind of get to experience kind of your stuff firsthand, because we're all trying to seek health. And it seems like you've nailed it somehow. So I'm really, really excited to hear your stories. Can you just nutshell kind of explain what is primed living, Chad style?
Yeah. Okay. Great. It's a pleasure to meet you and to chat. And it's really a joy to share, because it's really my passion is just to help others. Because like you said, it's, I wouldn't say I've nailed it 100%, but I'm pretty lucky that I'm 52 and I've never been healthier than what I am.
That's amazing.
And I've never helped more people than what I've helped. And it works, and it's fun, and it's easy, and it's wonderful. And I've got so much energy in life, and I want to share that with everyone as well. So the primed life in a nutshell is about energy. Really simple, how to improve your energy inputs so that we have more energy. But improving your energy inputs with having too much that drains your energy. So it's an energy equation, so improve your energy inputs, reduce what drains your energy, you have more energy, and energy life, so it's really that simple. And then just create habits that give you more energy inputs and reduce what drains your energy. So it's really simple. It's not rocket science. And I was talking to a potential client today called Rudolph from Brazil. And I said, it's almost idiot proof, because people understand it. When it's explained well, it's easy. Eat more eggs because they have more energy than a piece of bread, which has, almost zero energy. Or go out in the sun, which gives you energy, instead of being indoors, which drains your energy, if you're in fake light. So simple.
That's amazing. It's brilliant. I mean, I am the sort of person who gets lost in the technical, because I'm a bit of a geek and I love that kind of stuff, and we can talk about, how many ATP in a molecule of carbohydrate versus how much in fat kind of thing. But actually what it comes down to is what you're saying. It's like, how do I get the most energy without tiring my system? And that's physically, that's emotionally, that's everything. Which 100%. I absolutely love, because it just, it's just like, oh yeah, that could work, that's not so crazy. So your magic pill is nature, right?
100%. And funny you mentioned magic pill. One of my most beautiful clients is an Australian living in the Philippines, and her quote was that you gave me a magic pill to never have to worry about diet, about, starving myself, about exercising, etc. Because fundamentally it's about being natural, and getting the sun, eating food that's made from the sun, having positive energy from great friends, and doing all things, getting grounding, drinking good water, natural things that is, that it requires you not to need a pill because the pill is nature.
I love that. I love that so much, because I think, we're so good at chasing disease with, external kind of chemical produced things to go, oh, I need this because I've got this kind of thing. But to actually go, well, I'm created from nature. So
Yeah.
I think, we have survived millennia, millions of years, because we evolved from nature. So modern life, I mean, we all know, I think deep down, even if it's not in our conscious, we all know this modern life isn't serving us particularly well. We've got stresses of work, we've got stresses from, non-native electromagnetic fields, from unnatural light, from preferring central heating to being cold in the mornings, but we like it, we need it. I love my phone, I love my nice warm, environment. And how do we get ourselves out of that habit of stressful job, unnatural light, and all of that? How do we make that transition, do you think, into a product life?
That's a great question. And I think it comes with knowledge. So if we understand that we need the sun, water, good quality water, grounding, seafood, eggs, fun friends, positive thoughts, gratitude, well, why don't we chase that? So there's some days where we're indoors, it's raining. Of course, we're not going to get the energy that way. But if we always have in the forethought of our mind, chase the sun, great water, grounding, boost our energy with friends, hugs, seafood, eggs, green vegetables, grass-fed meat, nuts. So what we're doing is we're just creating these habits that become almost addictive. So therefore it's like knowing how can we boost our energy, and we chase that every day that we can. And again, that's being with like-minded people who are fun, who are friendly, who chase life, who love life, who are positive, who have gratitude. And if we can build our habits around that, it's going to crowd out all the bad stuff. So instead of staying indoors on Facebook or wanting potato chips or whatever it is, which can be okay in small doses, but if we chase the great stuff, it's going to crowd out the bad. So what I always say is I always concentrate on the positives. So I don't start with saying stop eating vegetable oil, stop eating less grains, or I always talk about love seafood, love the sun, chase the sun, become resilient, embrace the cold, build these positive habits. So it's really about the mindset. So, and then once you're doing well, then you want to do better. And once you're with positive friends, well, you want more positive friends. Once you help one person, you want to help more people. So yeah, just simple things like that. And I aim to do about at least 5 acts of random kindness a day, from helping people, lifting something for somebody, smiling. So it doesn't have to be complex, but we feed the positive. And we re-emphasize the gratitude, and we have a gratitude journal, and we write down everything that's great in our lives, and then we search for more. So it's difficult, I understand, for some people, but follow the people who are positive, and the people who are healthy. Why are they healthy? What are their habits? So it's simple, but it's not so simple because of the way we've built our lives.
I love that though, because it's that kind of, whatever level you're at right now, there is something you can chase, and incrementally you build on that. So I think that trying to go from a very disconnected lifestyle where you're very much in your in your tech and your artificial stuff, to just going full kind of, you know, nomad living in the trees. You can't do that. No, well, you could, but it would be very difficult, let's say. I mean, nothing's impossible. One of the great phrases that I heard that really stuck with me was, you need to concentrate on planting the flowers, not digging in the weeds, otherwise you'll never create a garden.
Yeah.
And I really like that sentiment, because it's that, isn't it? It's like, look, don't worry about all the things you can't do. Let's focus on the little tiny things that we really can. And then, you know, all of a sudden that vibration, because everything is energy, everything is a frequency, you're just tuning into a better radio station and a better radio station.
Beautifully said. Yeah, I agree. And it's, 100%. You can't go from zero to hero. And again, that's what I try to teach people, is concentrate on the things that will help you the most. So walking in the sun in the morning, getting the sun on your skin, sun in your eyes, having coffee with a friend who's positive. So again, you're 100% correct. Little things can lead to big changes. So just drink the European water instead of the low quality water or orange juice. The orange juice is sugar and it's not going to help you. Switch from vegetable oil to lard or butter or coconut oil. So these little changes can really have a big effect. So again, and that's why concentrating on the positives. Listen to your body. How does the sun feel? When I put my feet on the ground, how was it? When I was with somebody who was positive and who listened to me instead of talking all the time. You know, these little things can just add up to be beautiful, beautiful things that make a profound impact for you, but also for your family, you know, for your other friends. And again, that's at the end of the day, my program, The Primed Life, or Primed for Your Life, it's about helping yourself to more energy. But the true joy is when we lift others, you know, and that's what you're doing, is you're out there and you're trying to help other people with this positive message, and there's nothing better for your health, and that's why you look vibrant. You know, really, you look great. And you can see you've got the energy, and you're trying to teach people the same way, but that feeds back to yourself. You know, so it's a beautiful thing, and we can all achieve it, and that's the thing. It starts with hope, and then the little changes that move the needle in the right direction.
That's fabulous. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You know, we have to want it, and we have to then, you know, go, okay, well, I'm going to go get it, because you can't sit back and just expect it to happen. But I also don't think that everything has to be hard and a struggle, because that's a choice that you make. You know, to go, I'm either going to find everything really hard today, or I'm not. I'm going to see challenges as exciting, and you know, I'm going to embrace the things that made me happy. I mean, sometimes when you have an addictive behavior pattern, I suppose you could argue, well, potato chips make me happy, I want them. And then it's like, well, okay, well, then we've got to discover whether it's serving you or not, and what is it about them that you think is making you happy. Because if the other option is to get sunlight and to earth and be with nature and feel that genuine kind of benefit, you know, of how good that makes you feel, I mean, that becomes the addiction. And it's kind of trying to replace, but then at the same time, we have these kind of programs in us that says, you know, I've got to have this because it's good. Vegetables is a big one for me. You know, everyone's like, eat your vegetables, they're good for you. And we don't talk about eat your seafood, it's amazing for you. You know, we don't get you really need the fat that this package comes in to nourish your brain. We don't get that information. And I think that's the kind of thing that needs to be educated more and needs to reach more people. But what I want to ask you is, how did you get here? Because I saw that you weren't always this way, and I love to hear a journey.
Yeah, well, I love what you said before, and just to finish that one, is I think if we set our intention each morning, we wake up and we're proud that we're alive, and we say, well, maybe I wasn't perfect yesterday, but today I'm going to try to be better. So again, it's like, we're all going to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. So again, we have a motto, or I have a motto, better every day. So we don't worry about what happened yesterday. That's in the rear vision mirror. What's the future? How can I improve? How can I embrace that challenge? And it's as simple as just walking more, eating more eggs, because if the more eggs you eat, the less junk food you want to eat. So then you're getting the positive and you're going to reduce the negative. Eating more seafood, I agree 100%. That's really key. But yeah, my journey is I've, like everybody, I wanted to be healthy. So I did an Ironman event. It took me, I think, 14 hours in Japan. I did marathons. So I tried to do everything that the convention told me. I ate Wheat Bix for breakfast, which is a breakfast cereal. I had my fruit, and I was fat and I was lazy. I didn't have energy. I wasn't so happy. So convention didn't serve me very well. And lucky for me, I listened to Dr. Jack Cruz, and it sort of clicked one day that, and Mark Sisson. So I always have gratitude for these guys that helped me. And I first thing I did was change my food. So I started to eat more energetic food, seafood, the eggs, the grass-fed meat, and I cut out the bread, the pasta, the soy, low fat. So my food had more energy. And then the best thing that happened was that fed my brain. So, and then I was open to listening about quantum physics, about that the sun made the food, the grounding gave the food its energy, about the quality of water. So then I think I did my first Ironman in 2014. I changed my food and got more sun and no sunscreen, no sunglasses, and I improved my Ironman time by 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So I dropped about 10 kilos. So from maybe 74 to 64 kilos, nailed the Ironman, recovered beautifully. And then I was addicted because I didn't have to train in the gym. I didn't have to run around in circles. And so I actually trained less to do better time. And now I wouldn't recommend Ironman at all, because we just need to walk in the sun. We don't need to bike around in circles, because we just need to roll up our sleeves, do some gardening, walk with a friend, and that the health benefits will come. So yeah, so I've trained too much. I ate garbage. I've made every single mistake in the book, but that helped to shape me to where I am. So therefore, I don't look at it as a mistake. It was a journey, and I'm proud of it. I love that I made the mistakes, because I wouldn't be where I am without them. So yeah, and now I only run with my daughter for fun. I just maximize my vitamin D. So I get black people in Australia saying to me, "I love your color." I get people telling me every day that I look younger than I am, that I'm vibrant, that I'm energetic. So yeah, so I love where I'm at, and it's based on the principles of nature, just having more energy. And now, even if people didn't tell me that, I love that I've got energy, that I feel happy and my mind works well. So yeah, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of mistakes. I've wasted a lot of money, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's wonderful. I mean, your energy around this is it's fantastic, but we are breaking a lot of status quos here, basically saying don't wear sunscreen, you don't have to train and eat so much food in order to be healthy and quick and nimble. We're basically saying quantum physics has more of the answers than we're giving it credit for, and light obviously being a frequency, which gives us the energy that we need if it's in the right packages and it's coming through the biological systems as we need it to, is obviously incredibly important. But people are saying, well, you have to wear sunscreen, otherwise you'll get skin cancer, and I certainly, I grew up with that belief, and I'm sure that I mean, I'm in England, yes, we get sunburnt once a year, but it's not quite so bad here. But for someone with pale skin in Australia to say you don't wear sunscreen, that to me, that's incredible.
Yeah. So what I've done that before. I've worn sunscreen, I wore sunglasses. But what I could say is that now, at the age of 52 on Monday, I could spend 4 hours in the midday sun and it would have no effect on me at all. Because what I've done is I've built my solar callus. So, but to do that, I would get the morning sun, because the morning sun preps you for the afternoon sun. I would never wear sunglasses so that my brain has the proper signal of what time of day it is. I eat the seafood and I have the eggs, so I can make the vitamin D from sulfated cholesterol in my skin. And then I've built up. So I'm an Irish guy from my mother's side, or my birth mother, because I was adopted. So I had this white Irish skin for a long time. But now, because of years of practicing sensibly, I now have this beautiful, clear, vibrant skin. And I work on it. It's almost a part-time job is to get my skin nice and brown without burning. And if ever I have too much sun, well, I'll put on a shirt. I'll put on a hat. I don't need a chemical sunscreen because that causes cancer. So again, again, like you, I've been brought up with the wrong message. But now I'm super happy because I'm teaching this to other people who throw away their sunglasses. They don't use sunscreen, but their skin is beautifully brown and they're beautifully healthy.
Yeah.
So,
and it is important, that caveat, that you can't just suddenly throw your clothes off and get in the midday sun. It does have to start with the infrared. It does have to start with the prepping, because the way I kind of analogize this is, it's like if your skin isn't used to a frequency and it doesn't recognize it, your immune system sees it as a pathogen and it goes, inflame, because it goes, right, well, we need to attack this pathogen. And actually, that's your immune system brilliantly doing its job most effectively. It's just that it didn't understand the message, and the message has to come in through, obviously we would have been exposed to all frequencies of light in the visible and outside the visible spectrum through the sunlight that comes through the ionosphere. That's how we evolved as humans, to have that. But modern life comes back in and you go, okay, yeah, I'm going to wear clothes all day, and then all of a sudden we're going to have a nice hot sunny day, I'm going to strip off, I'm going to go red, and then it's like, oh no. And of course that could lead to some health issues. So then we have to say, well, look, don't throw your clothes. If you're pale skinned and you've never been out in the sun, you've got to start gently. You've got to do half an hour at 6:30 in the morning in the infrared light in order for your skin to say, I recognize what this is.
Yeah. It's called titrate, or just you build up. So if you and I were to go 10-pin bowling, and if we both weren't very good, well, we're going to practice. So same thing, we're going to practice getting the sun on our skin in a sensible fashion, and we build up. Actually, good funny story is that I had 2 English guys stop me recently, and it's just come out of winter in Australia, and Melbourne gets quite cold, sometimes 2 degrees in the morning. And they said to me, wow, man, you're so brown, because I had a singlet on, because all winter I only wear shorts and sleeveless top. And they said, wow, you look great. How do you get that tan? So, because I didn't have to go to Bali, I didn't have to go to the tropics, but I was managed to maintain a beautiful brown skin, even in winter. So even though there's less vitamin D, what I do is I wear minimal clothing so that I can get the sunlight and maintain this nice color. But also when your skin is cold, as you would know, you absorb more light. So, and again, this is about being resilient, about having challenges in our life so that we don't always rug up. And in Australia, we've got people, even today on a nice day, they have gloves, they have a hat, they have their mask, they're dressed for the snow. And then they look at me with a singlet on and shorts, and no shoes, and they think I'm crazy. But I'm strong, and I'm healthy. So, you know, and again, it's possible, but you know, you don't do it overnight. You know, it takes, you have to practice, and you have to have that will to build your resilience, to become stronger. So, and it's possible. Everybody listening here, it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I started the cold thermogenesis thing with a, you know, a bit of cold shower action. I have to say, I don't love it. I want to, but I'm kind of there going, oh, and trying to get my head under a shower that I'm just like, come on, you can do this. Don't be your body, be your mind. And I was just kind of like, I know that that will benefit me as we're moving into winter. But there's that huge part of me that just goes, hey, look, I can be warm, that's okay. And then I have to really find that will to go, I can be warm or I can be healthier. Like, which would you like to be? So I totally get that battle. And it's, you know, I mean, I've got other members of my family who just go, you are nuts, girl. Like, what are you doing? But I'm like, look, who gets sick? Not me. I don't get sick. So, you know, let's kind of think about that a little bit. And the shoe wearing thing, oh my God, I do get called bonkers for not wearing shoes, but I love walking barefoot. I feel uncomfortable if I'm wearing shoes quite often. I just kind of feel them as an attachment that shouldn't be there. And I'm like, I wasn't born in these things. Like, I just want to go for a walk and feel like grass or stone. Sometimes it's rough and you kind of go, oh, well, then my spine's feeling much more of how my body needs to move. So that's going to keep me looser. And you know, I think it's just changing that mindset, like shifting it over to how does this benefit me rather than why am I having such a horrible time.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've got a nice story. It was I think my 21st marathon I ever did was last October. My training per week was 5 kilometers. So basically I did zero training, run training. All I did was cold thermogenesis in the beach, which is much easier than a shower. So it's easier to in an ocean or a lake. And I built my vitamin D. And I did the marathon in 4 hours, just over 4 hours. I did it fasted. I did it with no shoes for the last 10 kilometers. And I was recovered by the next day. So it's just, and I did it as an experiment just to see if it was possible. And it really is, because our bodies are so fantastic that they're built to be adapted to the cold. You know, it's just a matter of reaching that adaptation. We're built without, like you said, without shoes. So if we practice and we build up, we can actually survive without shoes. But of course I wear them sometimes. But yeah, so it's just one of those things that, you know, we can really, if we push ourselves and we build up naturally and nicely, we can really do so many beautiful things.
Yeah, and I really love the message of you know, positivity and gratitude with who you surround yourself in, with your circle, because you know, when we're talking about health, everyone's looking for something very tangible, like eat the right food or do the right exercise, even getting into, you know, light and cold thermo, but actually to say integrating your physical health with your mental well-being is absolutely enormous, you know, because all manner of physiological benefits and, you know, spiritual benefits occur when, you know, you're focusing on what you want, when you're focusing on what you love, and when you're surrounding yourself with, you know, people who nourish you and nurture you. So I think that's
beautiful.
Particularly at the moment when a lot of people are kind of addicted to their media, which is really, you know, one of those energy drainers. It's one of those things that tells you you're limited. And, you know, I think that trying to make that switch round to, I'm going to choose what I put into my body on a, you know, informational level, on a spiritual level, rather than, you know, just kind of being fed. Because you wouldn't want to just be fed, you know, would you? I mean, you wouldn't just sit there and have someone kind of spoon feed you food you didn't like all day. And yet we do it with information all the time.
It's true. And especially these days now that they're really targeting you to feed you the information they want you to have. So we have a group, and it's the cold thermogenesis, but we don't call ourselves cold thermogenesis. We say cold thermogenesis and positivity. So everyone in this group that we've got at St Kilda Beach in Melbourne, where we're being assaulted for our freedom and our rights at the moment, we hug, we kiss, we boost ourselves up, we're positive. So, and none of us even had a sniffle all winter. And we were in the water almost every day. So it's really that positivity. And again, we rise by lifting others. And we've just seen the health of every single person in our group just lift the mood, the vibrancy, the energy, the everything about all of us has been fantastic. So yeah, it's been a joy to watch. And we have strangers on the beach say to us, I love the energy of this group. And they're drawn to us like a moth to a light. So you're right. This energy is life. And you boost it and you exude it with positivity and gratitude, or you drain other people with it. So it's a choice, really. And again, we can do it, but yeah, surround yourself with good people, listen to the right message, and then make small changes, and it has a huge impact.
Yeah, totally. It is interesting when you kind of come from really being I sort of like to say plugged into the system, which I feel like I definitely was. I mean, I do a therapeutic practice which is heavily based in quantum physics, and people call me Hannah Woo Woo, but I was totally allopathic medicine, really quite narcissistically against anything kind of homeopathic or anything a bit out there. But that was programmed into me because I do remember as a teenager being totally fascinated by the nature and people into their crystals and kind of having these spiritual experiences. And I loved the planets, and I don't know where it got beaten out of me, but then it was probably a good 20 years that I was like, nope, not having it. If you're sick, you go take a pill, you listen to your doctor, they know best, everyone else is nonsense. And lifting out of that and into this kind of like, do you know what, I've got complete control. I literally have the power to have a nice day or a crap day. I have the power to live a abundant, beautiful, happy, healthy life, or to wallow in something which I don't prefer.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's a choice, and we all have challenges, but it's how you look at it. You can look at something from this angle and it's really bad, or it's a challenge that you rose up to and you accepted it. So yeah, I agree 100%. And of course, these challenges will become easier if you have more energy. If you get the sun and if your blood is flowing to your brain, you're getting dopamine and beta endorphin, and you've got people who lift you up. So again, it's not easy, because if you're in that downward spiral and you're addicted to your internet, it's going to be tough. So that's why these incremental changes, the seafood, the eggs, the sun, a positive friend, these things can help slowly lift you out of the quicksand, so to speak. Because you and I, we've both been there. We believe the BS.
Yeah, and with good reason. We were, ever since you're little, you're programmed to listen to people who tell you things, and then you go to university and they say, oh, go and explore for yourself, and you're not really armed to do it, because really you just go to a book and regurgitate what somebody else has written and go, this is my evidence. It's difficult. Really getting into research is often held in paradigms that already exist. To actually be a maverick and go, I'm going to try something else, that's big for people. It's difficult to get heads around. And certainly the only way I really got into it was having really sound science presented to me. And some people are just more heart-led and go, oh no, I totally get that, I love it. Me, no, I was like, show me, damn it. And then someone showed me and I went, oh. And it really demystifies the mystical in that sense, because you go, it's there. This quantum physics model makes complete sense.
100%. Yeah. And again, I'm big into quantum physics, as you are. But what I've tried to do as well is because I'm talking to security guards, to people from all walks of life. So I love that. And I love the Filipino and I love all people, but a lot of people don't want to have their mind blown away. So we just have to, so what I've said is we need to observe the people who are healthy, you and I. Why are we healthy? Observe the ones who are sick. So what I say to people is I don't even want them to read the scientific papers because they can be biased or this way or that way. You know, look at the person with the brown skin. How do they look? Look at the person who's pale, who works in a call center. How many diseases have they got? Or look at your ancestors or your relatives. So again, it's just that we've lost the art of observation. And there's so much to be learned from just watching and having that critical eye. So I agree. Science is cool, but it's a little bit corrupted. So this power of observation and our friends who are healthy and why, the friends who are dead or sick or dying, why, you know, and there's lessons everywhere and they're beautiful lessons, but we have to have our mind open to see them.
Yeah, absolutely. It does, you know, I just find it, I'm so grateful to have been put on that path where I was like, oh, okay, I've had my eyes open now and I love this. And I mean, I was so often the way for therapists. You know, I had a problem, I got healed, I wanted to find out how I got healed, and then I wanted to help other people to heal. You know, it's great. And one of my big personal battles as a therapist is my own preconception that other people are going to struggle with it because I struggled with it. And I think, you know, that actually for me, that like letting go of my brain, my preconception, and stop kind of feeding myself a program. And, you know, I think that can be translated to so many things. You feed yourself a program. I mean, nutrition, I agree with you. I know that this is one of your things. It's not number one on the list if there was a priority list. Now, it's important because holistically, everything's important. But you cannot change your life just by changing your diet.
Yeah. So,
when we talk to people about what to do, everyone goes straight to nutrition. It's a program and it's really hard to get your head out of.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so I always let people know, I said that really the crux of it, you should not talk about nutrition without talking about light environment. And it's so simple because an Eskimo is not going to be eating bananas and rice because it doesn't grow there and it doesn't give them the overall energy they need. So, but a banana farmer in the Philippines, who I've helped with their health, they can eat bananas, but they need to get the sun, which is not available to the Eskimo. Hence, they have to eat the seafood. So it's just, if we just think properly and about the world, it really is. It's not that complex. So it's really,
for where you are relative to how much sunlight you get.
Yes.
Because if there's less ultraviolet away from the equator, there's going to be less ultraviolet into the skin and into the food. So then if you implant something which has been grown under a lot of that kind of energy, your skin and your cells can't match it, and then it's sluggish, and then you don't create the energy from it.
Yeah, 100%. But again, you know, even if you're in the tropics and you were getting that light, but if your overall energy was poor and you were not doing so well, you had diabetes, so you still maintain the light, but you just add more seafood and more eggs because that will give you that overall net energy. But once then your body improves and you reverse diabetes, well, then you can eat the bananas and you can have more rice. So again, it's always context, you know, the context of the light plus the context of your current health scenario. So and again,
really what we're talking about here is electricity, the body being electric. And how can we, if my body is an iPhone and I don't charge it properly and I have a load of programs running on it, it's sluggish, right?
Yeah.
So I need to give it the power booster that gives it the quickest, highly most efficient charge, and make sure I'm just pinging all the programs closed in order to make sure that I run.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we talk about eggs and seafood, and I know that there's a lot of people who are into health who kind of go, oh, you know, plant-based is best. And I simply personally, in my experience of my body, don't agree with that. If I don't eat, you know, grass-fed animals, seafood, eggs, etc., I miss my energy. If I don't have fat, I miss my energy. My fat needs to be from animal sources, or I just need to sleep at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't sleep well at night. I can't get out of bed in the morning. So that is, you know, regardless of what any scientist or any nutritionist wants to tell you, that is my N=1 experiment with me that says this is what gives me nutrition. And I had a problem with kind of understanding that until I understood this electricity thing, because it's like it's light, it's frequency, and at the tiniest quantum level inside your mitochondria, there's just a battle for electrons going on. It's just like, where can I get my electricity fastest without causing oxidative stress and damage to my body that fatigues those same mitochondria? Which is me going geek again, but that's kind of how I need to understand it, to say it's not just about macros, it's not just about the nutrients, it's about the electricity. And when we can get into that, then we can start to really understand why, you know.
Yeah, 100%. And the best way, just simple, is get the sun, even through the clouds, maximize your skin exposure, drink good quality water. So I drink European water here in Australia, and get grounded. So that's going to have the biggest bang for your buck. And then if you can add it to seafood with the DHA and the eggs for the vitamin D, then that's going to charge that electricity, like you said. But again, on that flip point, and I know that you know this, is that even if you're doing everything right, if you lived with your cell phone under your pillow and your Wi-Fi in your bedroom, and you have people texting you all night and you stay up late, well, all of that good energy is going to be wasted. So it's that matter of, or you drink, you know, fruit juice all day and your water quality is poor. So again, it's a matter of that, doing that right thing, but understanding what you need to limit. So yeah, you're right, and then that's
you're taking the electricity away with those things that don't serve you, you know. So I mean, I know there's scientific arguments about non-native electromagnetic field exposure, but we basically know that things that interfere with our natural bioelectrical rhythms are not going to serve us as well as things that don't. So wherever you are on that side, it's just like, yeah, it's not the same frequency because it's silicon based, but I'm not going to get into that anyway. So if we've got, yes, staying up late at night with blue light going into your eyes telling you it's midday sun, then you don't redox, then your body doesn't get to sleep. Well, we need that sleep, don't we? Because we need to recharge the battery. If you don't plug in by allowing all that good energy and electricity that you've gained during the day to then replenish, you know, all of that combustion that's been going on, all of that fighting that's going on needs to have, you know, time to do its thing. And that's where our, you know, our melatonin levels are so important, from that morning sunlight, from, you know, making sure that the pharmacy's open in the morning through the eyes to allow everything to work properly, you know, circadian rhythm, getting the right chemicals at the right time, allowing the body to do what the body was designed to do, and, you know, not interfering with it.
Yeah, agree 100%. Yeah, and that's why my daughter and I and my son, we ran this morning, but just to get the sunlight, and we always stop. And we take off, we don't have sunglasses, of course, but we stop and we look at the sun, and we all sleep well. So we really get that sunlight in our eyes in the morning. And I can even look at the sun at midday in Australia in summer, and it doesn't affect me. And now I used to wear glasses, but I don't wear glasses anymore. Of course, these are blue light blocking glasses.
Yeah.
But right, that simple habits like morning sun, huge effect. And wearing blue light blocking glasses at night, or iris or f-lux on your computer screen, going to bed earlier, reading a book instead of computer screen, which drains you. So yeah, just these simple things can move the needle a long way.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, if we were going to give people like a quick, like, here is like 5 things you can do easily every day that's going to impact your health without having to massively change your life. I mean, there's a whole bucket full there that we can use already, isn't there? I mean, what would say your favorites would be?
So what I've done, just to give you a story, is in the Philippines, I would run to all my meetings.
Mm.
So sometimes 40 kilometers in a day. So just instead of transport and driving and the bus, etc. So I would talk to security guards and I would meet them and I would say, I just want you to get more sun, roll up your sleeves, take off your sunglasses, eat more eggs, eat more seafood, put your feet on the ground. I would come back and see them a month later and they've already lost 20 pounds.
Wow.
So, and these are guys who earn minimum income. So I've got so many stories like that of just people who had an umbrella in the morning, and I just stopped, and my act of random kindness was to explain. So I just said, look, if you're a Filipino and you have brown skin, you need the sun 3 or 4 times more than a white guy like me. So that simple change has seen people reverse asthma. They didn't change their food. They just got more sun and asthma went away. So really, to answer your question, the sun would be number one. For those who can afford it, to drink European water because it has less deuterium, it has more energy. Feet on the ground. So, and that's the quantum physics aspect. But then to eat more eggs and seafood, because then we're going to make more vitamin D, or have the potential to. Turn your Wi-Fi off at night, sun in your eyes, and prioritize sleep. And then also gratitude journal, because you mentioned it before, without appreciating the sun, without appreciating energy and life and friends, then we're not living in the moment. We're not appreciating what we've got. So I think those simple things can really have a huge, profound impact.
Yeah. Even things just like, just getting more hydration into your body. People think that that they're getting enough if they're just kind of drinking a couple of glasses of water every day. And it's like, well, maybe that might have been true in the past, but now that we've got so much technology, we actually need to hydrate more. I started, like, my 5 daily habits were, to get up and out into the sun.
Yep.
So, get up at sunrise, maybe go for a jog, maybe go for a walk, whatever, but be out with as little on my body as I could cope with, so little shorts and a little kind of, top. I would do that. I would make sure I came, barefoot. I block all blue light on all my screens, even if it's just the native blue light blocker, because, if your screen, it takes you about 10 minutes to get used to the orange screen. And after that, you don't even know. And that's so beneficial to you. And especially if you're the sort of person who has to spend a lot of time on a screen or is working late at night, just block, because okay, in an ideal world, you wouldn't be doing it at all. And maybe that's something you can work towards with your energy and your gratitudes and your, what you're trying to reach for. But if in this moment that's not possible for you, just do what you can. Do what you can do. What you can do is block your blue light. What you can do is drink more water. What you can do is, give yourself an hour every day to meditate, or to be with friends, or to do something which is yours, which isn't for other people. If you've got a big family and you feel like you kind of run down by work and dealing with people, find yourself that time, because it's worth it. It will make you feel better. So, those were kind of really my things. Get outside, get my meditation on, drink plenty of water, gratitudes, and that, like you say, that random act of kindness thing is so good.
I love it,
because you don't.
Actually,
Oh yeah.
I was going to say, I've got a checklist that I do each day, and
yours is big now.
I do it in 2-week blocks,
right?
And it changes every 2 weeks. So, but it's just simple, like gratitude, the grounding, the sun. Did I walk? So it's just simple things and it's just a constant reminder. And then you can, and I think that's a good thing to do, is because when you have a checklist as well, it's a dopamine hit, and then it's not complicated.
No.
You know,
I did it. But also, I think not to beat yourself up if you didn't hit one of them, you know, because that's the other thing is to go, okay, but look what I have done. Let's focus on the have dones, and let's just build that up. And even if you can only implement one change into your life, you know, for the next month, that it be you get some morning sunlight into your eyes and into your skin, that would make such a huge difference to your overall health and well-being, that you'd feel like you wanted to do more and do more and do more. You know, I used to live in the middle of central London, and you know, people always complain that they can't get into nature. Yes, you can. There's pocket parks everywhere. There's somewhere you can go. There's somewhere you can step out of an office at lunchtime and go and get a bit of light. There's somewhere where you can go and take your shoes off and stand barefoot. And hey, who cares if people look at you like you're nuts? You know, because like you're like, yeah, I'm nuts, but I'm healthy. So those little incremental changes. Now, when it comes to kind of the eggs and seafood thing, I know there's a lot of people with chronic disease who say that they're allergic to those things. What do you do? You must come across these people too. What do you do when that happens?
Well, I mean, I've had people who've had psoriasis, type 2 diabetes, hypertension, asthma, infertility, and being allergic. So what I was saying is that all of those things are reversible. So we did it to ourselves through lifestyle, environment, food, and drinks. So therefore, if you had type 2 diabetes, it's not that hard to get rid of. It's really quite simple. Hypertension, sometimes within a week. So what you do is you address your lifestyle, your environment, food and drinks, and that allergies can go away. So I would not suggest that if you're allergic to eggs today, that you go and eat 10 eggs. But what you do is you fix that lifestyle, the environment, your water, and you maybe eat more seafood if you're allergic to eggs. And in time, that egg allergy will go away. So I've seen it so many times. So because it's not the egg that's bad, it's your body's ability to handle the egg. So, and it's like people who say, oh, the sun, I'm allergic to the sun. It's too bright. It's too hot. It's too cold. No. It's you're too weak. Your eyes are weak. Your skin is weak. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's being honest.
No, it's electricity, isn't it? There's not enough electricity there. You need to build the electricity there. Weak has such a negative kind of connotation as a word, but it just literally means not enough voltage. Increase the voltage.
Yeah, so if you're weak at something, you just practice, you know, and you build up your ability to do it. So it's like a beautiful lady called Mimi. She, 60 days ago, she couldn't handle the cold. She's been in the cold water every day except one since then. And she's 60 years old. She looks amazing and she's absolutely vibrant and energized. But she's built her ability to, so before she was weak at the cold, now she kicks it in the ass. You know, so she wears less clothing. She doesn't need the heater on as much. She's saving money. She feels great. So again, you know, if we're not good at something, well, why don't we practice? You know,
and I think that getting a group of people together and building the energy around that, because it's so easy to give up on your own, isn't it? It's so easy to go, oh, I'm going to get in the cold. No, I'm not. Sod that. You know, but if you've got a group of people who go, let's do this together with love, with joy. Let's make it something joyous. Let's get in the water and play. You know, something that distracts. It's the same with exercise. Do you want to lift something up and put it down again? Or do you want to have fun? You know, because if it's from the heart and if it's with joy and it's with people and if it's with love, you're just going to do it more. You just are, because it's more fun. And then you build friendships and you build, you know, immunity to negativity almost, because you just go, I don't want to find that, I just want to find this stuff that I love. So, you know, I think for, you know, people who are listening to this, you need to go and, you know, see if there's any kind of groups, if there's outdoor swims near you, if you live near the sea, or if there's just people that you can get involved on a Facebook group, learn more about it, get support, and just enjoy that level of finding other people who are seeking what you're seeking, and that you can kind of get some accountability, if that's the word you want to use. You know, I find that it's just sharing, it's sharing the joy.
Yeah, I love that as well. So yeah, my message is always to have fun. So when you're making a lifestyle change, it's not about what you're taking away. It's about enjoy the journey, because you're going to have more energy. It's almost priceless to have more energy and to have more vibrancy, and to look better and to feel better. So yeah, it's really, I love that. It's about fun, enjoyment, because it's not hard to get into nature, when you can. It's not hard to eat eggs. It's not hard to drink a good bottle of San Pellegrino. It's not hard to take your shoes off and just enjoy the grass. So yeah, all of these things are natural and they're fun, but you have to have that mindset of making it fun. So that's why, again, in the morning I wake up and I set my positive intention. I'm not worried about what I did yesterday. I'm saying I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to rise to the challenge. I'm going to hug my friends. I'm going to love the people I love and my children. And, so again, yeah, just that fun, positive intention, enjoying the journey and enjoy your mistakes. That's cool. We all make them.
Sure. That's what makes us human, right? If we were already perfect, we wouldn't be here. That's the way I see it. We're here for investigation, seeing what's going on. And it's, if you can say, I'm playing a game, but I'm the creator of my game, so I get to decide how well I play it and how fun it is. And then every good game has to have obstacles, challenges, things like that. You can't play a game without having to overcome something. Otherwise, it's just a boring game. So when we get thrown our challenges, sometimes real tragedy happens. Sometimes things that we really don't prefer happen. But I just see that as it's a more exciting game. It's like you're creating a game where you have to overcome more personally, you have to overcome more within a community, and you have to decide what your place is, and you have to decide, right, well, how am I going to play this? Am I going to play this in a way where I'm going to try and spread negativity, or am I going to play this in a way where I'm going to try and spread joy? And how can I serve myself? How can I serve people? And I can't do that unless I've got energy. So it goes back to the energy again.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. I love what you said there. And just reflecting on my own childhood, perhaps, I had a mother I found out I was adopted when I was 30. So I didn't know until I was 30. I had a mother who is a beautiful mum who's an alcoholic. And I've had challenges left, right, and center. But it's beautiful because it shapes you. So again, it's just that having that positive attitude, and how can I just get better tomorrow? And again, getting better tomorrow allows me to help lift others as well. So, and again, if that's at your forefront of your mind, I don't think you can go wrong. So and you can just make those slow changes. Don't beat yourself up if that wasn't how you were. But that's how do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say of you? So that's what I think as well. I want people to respect me. I want people to think that I'm vibrant and that I'm energized. So I work towards that.
Yeah. And so then that's what you're chasing, isn't it? But equally, you're not kind of seeing it in a lack perspective, because you're not seeing it as I want this, but I don't have it. You're saying, I want this and I'm going for it. And I think that that's such a subtlety between the haves and the don't haves, where if your mindset is I don't have this and I want it, you're almost not going to have the right frequency to go get it. We're going back to energy again, because actually you're basically putting out there that you don't have something, and then and just send, even saying it, I literally felt my vibe go like that, because it's like, I don't have this yet, but I am damn well on the right path, you know, and I'm just going to chase, and I'm going to chase, and I'm going to chase. And you have to have action at a high vibe. You know, you've got to do the thing that you really want to do just because you love it, really, without expecting any kind of outcome. And I think that if you do that and just go, I'm living in the moment, I'm doing the thing that I really want. I've got a projection of where I want to be, but if that's not exactly it when I get there, cool, that's exciting. You know, I think that just not trying to expect an outcome and be upset if that outcome doesn't occur, and not trying to reach something from you know, from a place of lack, from a place of not having. And if you can just tweak that in your mind, then you're going to be on the right path.
Yeah, perfect, Jan. Yeah, I love that too. And that's why with my gratitude journal, I do it every day. I have future gratitude. And then what I do is when I write it down, I tell the people, you know, I say, hey, you were in my gratitude journal today. Evelyn from Canada, Rafa from Canada, and my friends in the Philippines, and, you know, my clients in the US. So, you know, I let them know, and it's really, it's in your heart. So yeah, so that gratitude is key. And that's gratitude for your future self, and for the lessons that you had, and for what you're going to do today. Yes. So yeah, you said it perfectly. Yeah.
I just love this, because it seems to, you know, it incorporates the mind stuff, the spiritual stuff, the biochemical stuff, the electrochemical stuff, you know, the gravitational energy. It kind of seems to just fit with so much of what the physical body and the emotional body encompasses as a way of life. And you know, I think that the more people who can go out and educate themselves on, you know, what energy is, and how it fuels the body, how it fuels the mind, and how, you know, we can just fuel off this stuff and live happy, vibrant lives, which is really what we're all aiming for, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's my favorite hashtags is energy is life and sun is energy. You know, so if you start with that, you know, it's pretty basic. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to have more life. And then the blood flows to your brain, you feel better, and then you've got more energy to enjoy life. And that's what we all want to do.
Yeah.
So it's start small, and the changes will happen. And the thing there is that life is beautiful. You know, so again, we all have challenges. And again, if we just keep thinking that life can be better, and if I just keep doing these things, well, I can improve myself, and then I have the energy to help the ones I love as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. Well, I think we could end up talking for a really long time if we're not careful, because we're obviously, you know, very in a similar position on our feelings about this, and how passionate we are about trying to reach people and help people. And, you know, I'm trying to get practitioners like you out to more people, and to, you know, to realize, you know, there's so much that can be done. You know, your blog on your website, which I will post this below so that people can see and find you on your Facebook page, etc., etc. But, you know, there's so much great free information in there. You know, you've got for the people who are still kind of in the food mindset, there's all the recipes. You know, there's so many success stories, there's so much inspiration on there. And, you know, people can access that, because, you know, you are giving that. I highly recommend, if people are not really sure yet what's going on here, that you read the book. Do you want to show us your book again?
Yeah. So yeah, it's called The Primed Life. And I love this picture because my daughter took that picture of me in the Philippines. And I didn't know she was taking it. But what I was doing was I was maximizing my sun exposure from direct sunlight, plus the albedo effect from the reflected sun off the water. So it was just, my daughter took it. I didn't know it. But yeah, I'm really proud of that.
She encapsulated your whole message in a photo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, grounding, and yeah, just being positive and present in the moment. And so again, you know, the reason I'm so passionate is that I've got 2 children, 20 and 18. And I just want all children to have the best possible future, and to be healthy, to live a life. We don't need to waste our time in the gym. We don't need medicines and supplements necessarily. Sometimes, of course, they're necessary, but we can do it more naturally, holistically.
Save the medicine for when it's really needed. That's the way I see it. Let's not say it's bad. It's not always bad, but if we're constantly just feeding it, then we're not finding the source of the problem. I totally get that. So this book's got case study stories in it. It's got loads of really, really good explanations on how it all works, and highly recommend that people get a read of it if they're just kind of trying to understand how this whole thing works, because I think you just have to look at the guy and go, that is health right there. So whatever you've got, more people need to be getting.
Hey, thanks. And also what happens is, if people do buy it, I've got in there my email address. So I send them a PDF of recipes plus summary notes. So it's sort of like, and the summary notes are really simple. 1 page on how to improve energy, 1 page on how to reduce what drains your energy, and 1 page on the habits. So it's not, it's almost, like I said before, it's almost idiot proof. It needs to be simple. Otherwise, if something's too complicated, it gets lost. Yeah. So that's what I've tried to do, is to make it's a big font. There's not a lot of words, but it's practical, because, that's what we need in this day and age. We get so bombarded with so much information. But let's just peel it back. Yeah. And think. Keep it simple, stupid, right? That's what we have to say. I think so. Absolutely. Because it is simple. Health is simple. We've just overcomplicated the hell out of it. And now we've got to get back to nature. Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Huge gratitude to you. I mean, I know that you and I, we both kind of found Dr. Jack Kruse, who I'm massively grateful for finding a lot of this information for. And, I'm just so glad that you crossed my path, and that we were able to do this, and, that hopefully we can find some more people, help them get back to health, and just to understand a little bit more about, how our bodies really work and what they really need. Yeah, 100%. So much. I mean, it's been such a wonderful conversation. As I say, we could just talk for hours probably, because we just vibe in the same place. But I think let's nip it in the bud here and just say thank you so much. This has been a wonderful conversation. You're welcome. I really enjoyed it, and I hope some people get some value from it. I mean, just like you said, Dr. Jack Kruse was he's in my gratitude journal every day, like without fail. So of course I write my children first, but it's huge. And again, I just want to, like you, we want to help people. And we're just hoping that they can get little bits of information and then just slowly, improve their health, because it's a beautiful thing to have more energy. And it's possible. So I think it starts with hope, so if you're listening to this and you think that you can't do it, 100% you can. Yeah. One little change, 15 minutes of sun. Try it. See what happens. Yeah. Eat more eggs. Don't have breakfast cereal. Little things, so yeah. I love this. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to make sure that people can find out about you. We'll post to your site, and hope to have you on again for more chats and more success stories. And really grateful to have made this connection with you. Thank you so much. Me too. I really appreciate it. It's been enjoying today. Thank you so much for listening. Please give us a like and a subscribe and a review if you wish, and stay up to date for more weird and wonderful topics.